Hey, so this is week number 2 of my log. I'm starting with things that might be a little bit more interesting this time. I know a few people said that all of my planning is, it's just planning, which is what it is. But it works for me to kind of get my ducks in a row. So here is the training that I did this week. Took, I had a day where I did number of shot put stand throws. I think this is the best one that I had. I'm throwing the 12 pound just to get my wrist and hand and everything in shape. I used to be a thrower, so it feels good to throw on a regular basis like this. Um, they were stand throws, and they were going out between like 39 and 41 feet on the best ones. I'm just gonna keep throwing the 12 and not go to the 16 until like my wrist really feels better and like strong. And I think that the 16 won't just beat up my hand too much. So next I've got so that day that I was doing stand throws, the like high school baseball team where I coach track was warming up right towards the end of the sector, and they were pretty far away from me. And then as soon as I went to go start doing spins, uh, the coach was basically standing at 45 feet in the sector. So I didn't want to like roll a shot into the back of his foot or something. So I ended up just kind of doing some drill work. And so this is some of that where I'm just kind of going through the motions, um, seeing how it feels. This is really only probably the second or third time I've put on throwing shoes in over a year. So it's nice to be back in the throwing shoes, getting ready to throw. And then I did some discus on another day. Discus has always been my favorite event, so it's nice to get back throwing after a year off. For me, I don't really want to change much about how I throw or my technique. It's just get stronger, get fitter, get faster. Um, and I know that it'll be there for me in the decathlon. Like the throws are the things that I'm worried least about. Like I said, I think last time that everything I'm doing is really building towards sprinting, sprinting faster, which I know will help, most of the events for me. So that's the video content. If you don't want to see my log, now I'm on my log uh, part. So on hill day, I did 50-meter hill sprints on pavement. It was really good. Felt great, even better than the previous week. For strength, I actually did an actual strength workout compared to the previous week when I kind of went pretty light. I squatted, stiff-legged deads, hang clean, bench, and just sort of some mixed accessory stuff, some curls and ring rows. Um, on tempo day, I did 12 120 yard. I'm just gonna keep doing the same thing. I'm not gonna go out to two. I eventually need to go out to 200 meter and 300 meters, but I just don't feel ready for that yet. So I'm just going through the same thing each week for a few more weeks, getting myself in shape. For me, it's also like my feet, like the arches of my feet feel like they're kind of getting in shape. They're getting a little beat up when I run, and I don't want to overdo it with too much volume. Um, Speed endurance. I was pretty sore from the back squats and the stiff legged deadlifts on Tuesday. So I ended up just doing build ups, just like strides. I ended up not doing the speed endurance, running as hard as I had planned. Because I wanted to get something in. I wanted to get some volume in, but I didn't want to go too hard and hurt something. And on that same vein, on Friday during my lift day, I just did upper body because my legs were pretty sore. Saturday, I had planned for another tempo day. I ended up just doing a short hike, which was actually very, very nice, and then not doing the tempo workout. Again, my feet, shins, like everything's just acclimating to actually running on a regular basis. So I ended up not doing any more that day. And then today, Sunday, I have off. And it's nice. I'm recovering well, and aside from some stuff with my feet, everything feels really good. So I'm going to repeat this same plan of Monday through Sunday again next week, and probably for the foreseeable future until I feel capable of more. I did hear that there may be some meets in July nearby me, so I may change some plans a little bit just to get ready to do a few races in those and get some benchmarks. I don't think I'll be fit enough to go all out, just because I really want to make sure I stay healthy. But I will be able to just set some marks and then know where I'm at. It won't just be a guess anymore. As far as weight loss goes, so at the beginning of 2 weeks ago, I was 212. I'm now 202. So I think a lot of that's water weight. I haven't actually lost that much weight. But it feels good as this number goes down. As I mentioned in the previous video, I want to get that number down over time. It's going to be months and months and months. I think it'll be a little bit easier on my joints, and it'll help the events that I need to improve. And just in case anyone's wondering, these are my lifetime PRs in each of the decathlon events and the years that they occurred in for me. Some of them are high school, some of them are college. One of them is post-college because I never did run a full 110 hurdles at 42 inches during college. So I have like my high school hurdle time, and then this is the only races that I've ever run over the 42-inch hurdles. I've done 2 decathlons post-collegiately. I did one in 2017 and I did one in 2019. I had a blast both times. But at the end of it, I always wished I could do better. So I want to do better. And starting training sort of this early in preparation for the 2022 season, I set some goals for myself. I think these should all be pretty achievable for me. I don't know if I successfully lose a lot of the weight, I may have harder times with the throwing events. I'm not sure. And this is all assuming that I manage to stay healthy and I don't overdo it at any point. But this is where I'd like to be for 2022. And you'll see that a lot of them are. My goal for next year isn't as fast as my lifetime PR. The long jump's a little bit better. The shot put's much lower than my lifetime PR. High jump is only a little bit higher than I did the previous decathlons. The 400 is an event where I think there's a lot of room for improvement from where I did the last couple of years, because I just didn't run much volume of work going into those decathlons. I just kind of got just in shape enough so I wouldn't hurt myself. And I think that just with the consistent tempos and speed endurance, and then the progression into other like sprint specific work over the months will get me ready to run a faster time like that. The 110 hurdles goal is 18. I know that I'm going to have to I'm 5'9" over the 42-inch hurdles. I know that in order to 3-step the hurdles, I'm going to need to be like sub 12 100-meter flat time. I just know that there's no chance of me successfully 3-stepping until I'm way, way faster, and way faster than I could ever get in a year. So that 18 is assuming a 4-step. I don't know. I ran 19:25 2 years ago, much slower than I think I could be in a year 4-stepping. And maybe I can run an 18 4-stepping, or 18 point at least, somewhere in the 18s. That seems like an achievable target. For the discus throw, 40 meters, if I'm much lighter, it might be difficult, but I feel like this is an achievable mark. Pole vault, 2.6 meters. Again, I just think I'll be lighter and faster, and I'll be able to just throw myself over. Pole vault's one of the events where I don't plan on spending too much time working on it, just because of access to facilities. And I'd rather spend my time on things that I can walk out onto the street and work on hills or something, as opposed to having to jump through hoops for pole vault. If I end up successfully doing a decathlon in 2022 and I'm in shape and I do well, then I'll work on pole vault down the line, I think. Javelin, that's one of the, so Javelin I think I could do pretty well in, even though I haven't done quite as well in the previous 2 decathlons I did the last few years. Because because I've been coaching javelin for high school kids, and I feel like I understand it a little better now than I did in the past. And if I could just get my shoulder in shape, I think I could throw it pretty well. And then the 1500, sort of the same thing as the 400, where I just wasn't doing much running volume leading up into these decathlons in the past few years. So I think that if I run more, I'll be able to get that 1500 down. When I ran this PR in high school, I was just young. It's the youth of being able to just go run it. I think now it's going to take a lot of work over the next year to get there, but I think I will. And that would get me to a 5,000 point decathlon. So that's my goal, long story short. And that's what I am designing all of my workouts and plans around. So everyone, thank you for listening. This is log number 2, and I'm sure, or I hope, I keep doing logs every week. And I don't know if anyone will actually watch them all the way through, but this is how I'm planning my work, and these are my goals. And if anyone has any thoughts about it, I'd love to hear it. Have a great week, and good luck with all of your training.